Video shot by Justin Wolfson. Fitbit has a lot riding on its new $300 Ionic smartwatch. Analyst reports suggest the smartwatch category will continue to grow over the next few years, and Apple and Google already have well-established devices and operating systems. Being one of the top players in the wearables game, Fitbit is unlikely to build a device that runs Android Wear, much less watches, so it designs its own devices from the ground up. The Ionic is Fitbit's serious attempt at a smartwatch, far more so than the $200 Blaze that came out last year. Running Fitbit OS, the Ionic combines the most crucial fitness features with what Fitbit believes to be the most crucial smartwatch features. While testing the Ionic, I asked myself two main questions. Does it provide the best fitness experience for the price, and does Fitbit thoughtfully incorporate smartwatch features into a primarily fitness-focused device? It does, but there may be better solutions out there. Design. It was hard to be excited when the first images of the Ionic leaked months before its debut. Those images confirmed many of our worst fears. Fitbit stuck with the core design that influenced the Blaze fitness watch, which is chunky and unattractive at best. The Ionic isn't fashionable, but few smartwatches are. However, it does improve on the Blaze in several ways. First, the module's unibody design is thoughtfully made with nanomolding technology that fuses metal and plastic together to make a continuous device and allows the Ionic to be water-resistant up to 50 meters. The device is relatively thin thanks to the internal grouping of the GPS, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi antennas, and the unibody design also means that it's not a module held in place by a square cut out of metal, which is the Blaze's biggest design sin. The Ionic's module is a single piece of slightly curved hardware that attaches to two ends of a wristband, much like the Apple Watch and most Android Wear devices. The compatible Ionic bands are also much like those available for its competition. Fitbit developed its own regular, sport, and leather accessories for the smartwatch, all of which have a traditional watch-like adjustable clasp. I had one of each, and they're generally comfortable. My favorite is the sport band because it has holes all over to allow better airflow to the skin. It might not be an original design, but it prevents skin irritation through exercising and beyond. Fitbit's mechanism to attach and detach the bands is similar to that on the Apple Watch. Small, narrow buttons at either end of the module release the band pieces, allowing you to quickly snap in others. Fitbit's method is actually easier than Apple's because the Apple Watch band release buttons are built into the module itself rather than on its edge. To release those, you need a pointy object or long fingernails to press and hold the button long enough to slide the band pieces out of their clasps. Props to Fitbit for making a similar mechanism that's quicker to complete and easier on the fingers. What you interact with most on the Ionic is the 1.4-inch, 348 by 250 resolution, 1000 nit touchscreen, which is great to look at in both good and bad lighting. The bottom bezel is the largest and has the Fitbit name on it, while the side and top bezels are slimmer. The black portion of the module is deceiving, though, because it's not all screen real estate. Hugging the display are three physical buttons, one on the left side for powering up the device and two on the right side for inactivity selections. The top right button doubles as a quick access button to the Today app, which shows your current fitness data, while one press of the bottom right button quickly opens the Exercise app. On the bottom of the module are the magnetic nodes that connect to the proprietary charging cable and the heart rate monitor. Fitbit designed the bottom of the Ionic to be flat against the skin, with no ridges or indentations around the optical heart rate monitor. This should produce more accurate readings, thanks to the lack of pressure points created by uneven surfaces. There's an SpO2 monitor, a peculiar sensor that measures oxygen levels in the blood, inside the Ionic. Fitbit claims this could eventually alert users to issues like sleep apnea, but right now it has no outward-facing features. There's no blood oxygen indicator on the Ionic, nor is there a section for that data in the Fitbit app. According to a Fitbit representative, the company is still exploring how this could manifest in the consumer experience, meaning that for now, you won't even know it exists. A huge part of the Ionic's appeal is its 195 mAh battery life. Fitbit claims the device can last more than 4 days on a single charge for 10 hours while using GPS. After 4 days of consecutive use of my Ionic, the battery was still at 45%. The next day I used the GPS a bit, and that knocked the remaining battery life down to about 38%. It's clear that battery life is one of the best features of the Ionic, especially considering the Apple Watch and most Android Wear devices can only last a maximum of 2 days on a single charge. Fitbit Ionic module and detachable bands. Heart rate monitor sits flush with the bottom of the device. A bit of Fitbit's Smartwatch OS. Workout categories have full-color photos. 1000 nit display looks great in direct sunlight. Optional accessory bands, leather and sport. Activity features. The Ionic runs Fitbit OS, the company's own operating system that will be used on all its smartwatch devices going forward. It's structured similarly to other wearable operating systems, with a watch face homepage and adjacent pages hosting apps accessible by swiping left to right. We'll get into the other apps on the Ionic when we discuss its smartwatch features, but for now we'll focus on the exercise app. This is where you'll find all the exercises you can track directly from the watch. You can load up to 7 exercise shortcuts onto the watch at one time, and the default shortcuts include run, bike, swim, and treadmill. There are 20 total, including more particular activities like yoga, martial arts, hiking, and golf. As with other trackers, you can categorize workouts as other exercises in the Fitbit mobile app. In doing so, you have a much wider list of trackable activities. But in comparison to Apple Watches and Android Wear devices, the Ionic doesn't have as many options available on the device. Fitbit does, however, allow you to customize features like GPS and auto pause for each workout. These and other features can be edited right before starting a workout by tapping the gear icon at the top left corner of the device's display. The GPS on-off option will come in handy if you're doing an indoor version of a workout rather than an outdoor session. Starting a workout on the Ionic is as simple as pressing the Go arrow at the bottom right corner of the display and hitting the bottom right button on the side. All of the Ionic's workouts are quick start in this sense. Apple has also updated its workout app in WatchOS 4 to have quick start options. Before the WatchOS 4 update, only your most used workouts would start immediately upon hitting the icon in the workout app. All others would ask you to define a workout goal based on distance, time, or calories burned. But you can't define a goal for an individual workout with the Ionic. During a workout, the Ionic's display shows 3 stats at a time. You can customize these from each exercise's settings directly on the watch, choosing data that appears on the top, bottom, and middle of the display. By default, top and bottom stats are already chosen, but you can swipe on the middle section of the display to scroll through all available data including time, steps, calories, heart rate, distance, and pace information. I liked having that flexibility with the middle section, but I always made sure that the data most important to me was set for the top and bottom sections. You can customize visible in-workout stats on the Apple Watch as well. It can show 4 at a time on the display, but you can't do so on the watch. You have to edit settings in the watch app on iOS. Fitbit includes a weight exercise shortcut on the Ionic, however, it doesn't have a rep counting or exercise recognition feature. Android Wear 2.0 added support for rep counting and some exercise recognition, allowing you to lift weights, input the amount of weight lifted, and complete exercises like crunches or bicycles with ease. New Garmin devices like the $140 Vivo Smart 3 count reps as well, so it seems like Fitbit missed an opportunity on that front. Heart rate monitor inside the Ionic is Fitbit's Pure Pulse heart rate monitoring technology that also appears in its other fitness trackers, including the Ultra Hour. While the Ionic's heart rate monitor floundered the first few times I used it, it was 20 BPMs off a couple of times. I didn't experience many problems after that. Fitbit recommends wearing the Ionic 3 fingers width away from your wrist bone, and tight enough so it can't wobble. The Ionic's heart rate monitor was solid most of the time when compared to the Polar H10 heart rate chest strap and to the heart rate monitor on the Apple Watch Series 2, reading my heart rate within 2 BPM of those other devices. GPS. The GPS inside the Ionic worked as expected. It took about 1 minute for the GPS to grab my location before an outdoor run. That's not fast, but you don't have to wait for the GPS to find your location before heading out, and once I started, the device did map my route accurately. The Ionic is a major improvement over the GPS in the Fitbit Surge, which was released about 3 years ago. The Blaze only had connected GPS, meaning it knew your location only by using your smartphone's GPS, which meant carrying your phone when working out. Considering the Fitbit Surge will likely be replaced by the Ionic, it's good to see Fitbit make onboard GPS a solid feature on its high-end tracker. Sleep tracking. The Ionic outshines the Apple Watch in sleep tracking. Apple still doesn't natively support sleep tracking with its wearable, although there are third-party apps you can use to track, but Fitbit has tracked sleep for years across multiple devices. The Ionic uses its continuous heart rate monitor to track pulse during sleep, which allows it to categorize your state into awake, REM, light, and deep sleep. I always enjoy looking at the sleep line graphs in the Fitbit app because I can see when I woke up and how long I was in the different sleep stages the night before. It's also clear when I don't have a good night's sleep, as my graphs show a lot more awake time than they do REM, deep sleep. Smart Track. Fitbit's Smart Track feature is also a perk that Apple Watches and Android Wear devices don't have. Smart Track automatically recognizes exercises after you've done them for a set amount of time. Smart Track has evolved over the years, so you can now customize that set amount of time. I usually keep mine at 10 minutes for each activity. It's not just limited to running, biking, or other sports. Either Smart Track on my Ionic most often records periods of long walking when you're moving around Manhattan or shopping at the mall. Listing image by Valentina Palladino. Page 2. The dynamic workout is part of the device's guided training feature. It gives you a short workout to complete, and when you're finished, you can tell the device if it was too hard, too easy, or just right for you. Dynamic workout will then produce another workout that's better suited to your fitness level. Fitbit says this feature will arrive later this fall, but I was disappointed that I couldn't test this one out. Personalized workouts are huge perks for fitness trackers like the Ionic, and the easier they are to use, the better they are at giving the user a more tailored exercise experience. Also forthcoming are goal-oriented workout regimens that last for weeks, like a program that preps the user for a 5K race, in addition to diet regimens that focus on habits like reducing the amount of sugar you consume. Most of those guided workout and diet routines will be sequestered behind a paywall. Users will have to pay a monthly fee for access. The Ionic comes preloaded with 3 guided workout routines, but you'll have to sign up if you want access to any others. How are they? Well, the 10-minute abs workout in the Coach app on the Ionic is great. This routine guides you through a number of exercises that target your core. You can preview them by tapping on the list icon at the top right corner of the workout screen. The list names the exercises you'll do, in which order, and the number of times you'll complete them, or the duration of time necessary for completion, for example, 30 seconds rather than 30 reps. During the circuit, the Ionic's display shows you how to do the exercise with a picture of a real person, no stick figure iconography, along with a number of reps or time duration before moving on to the next exercise. It doesn't appear that the Ionic actually recognizes and counts each rep you complete, though I paused for a few seconds during the ab workout and the rep counter continued to add reps, as if I was completing them in real time. It's safe to say the Ionic assumes you complete a rep every second or so, meaning you could easily go at your own pace and still move on to the next exercise. Because of this, you may prefer the time-based exercises in these routines, but most routines will likely have a mix on rep and time-based exercises. Aside from the rep cheating possibility, I enjoyed the 10-minute abs routine, which was fairly challenging even for someone like me who is familiar with every exercise in the workout. While the guided workout offerings are slim right now, at least they exist. Neither Apple Watches nor Android Wear devices have native guided workouts. The closest thing the Apple Watch has with WatchOS 4 is personalized monthly challenges, which present a fitness challenge based on your past month of activity. Fitbit's offerings remind me more of the Microsoft Band, which handle guided workouts quite well. You could even log on to Microsoft's desktop program for the band and make your own workout routines by combining individual exercises to make a circuit. I still hope that a wearable will bring this feature back from the dead someday. Arc Watch Face on the Ionic. Tappable stats on the Arc Watch Face. 1-minute abs workout in Fitbit Coach. List of exercises included in the 10-minute abs workout. Today view, showing your current fitness data for the day. Elliptical exercise shortcut in the exercise app. Pressing the gear icon on the exercise shortcut brings up customizable settings for each activity. Guided breathing. The Ionic also has Fitbit's guided breathing feature, which leads you through a couple minutes of deep breathing meditation. This feature makes use of the Ionic's display by encouraging you to follow an expanding and deflating circle. Inhale when the circle inflates, exhale when the circle deflates. The device also vibrates lightly when you are supposed to inhale and exhale. None of this differs much from guided breathing on other Fitbit devices like the Charge 2, but you may enjoy the full-color animations on the Ionic. I'm trying to meditate regularly, but I personally prefer audio-guided meditation like the app Headspace provides. I don't like staring at the Ionic display and trying to match my breath with the circles. In fact, closing my eyes and breathing deeply at my own pace is what I like best about meditation. This is difficult while staring at a display or waiting for my wrist to vibrate. Extra fitness features. As on most fitness devices, the Ionic has reminders to move and cute animations when you reach your overall fitness goal each day. The device encourages you to complete about 250 steps per hour with a little dancing stick figure animation pushed to your wrist once per hour. This is slightly different than the Apple Watch, where you get stand alerts to remind you to get up from your seat during times you've selected. Also now, in WatchOS 4, you'll get an end-of-the-day alert from the Activity app that tells you how you can close your move ring for the day. A 10-minute walk might do it one day, or you may need a 30-minute walk if you haven't been active another day. I like those clear quantitative recommendations because they removes the mystery around reaching a move goal. Page 3. The Ionic is Fitbit's first real smartwatch. It has an operating system called Fitbit OS, and it connects via Bluetooth to iOS, Android, and Windows smartphones. Apple Watches only work with iOS devices. Android Wear devices work best on Android devices even if they do support iOS devices, and Windows smartphones have been entirely left out by most recently announced wearables. If you're interested in the Ionic and you own a smartphone, chances are the two will work together. Let's explore Fitbit OS. The main screen is your watch face, which you can customize by picking different designs in the Fitbit mobile app. Only one watch face is accessible on the Ionic at a time, so anyone who likes the ability to swipe between favorites as you can do on the Apple Watch will be disappointed. From the watch face, swipe to the right to bring up display and notification settings and to see the Ionic's remaining battery life. Swipe down from the top of the watch face to see your current music selection. Swipe up from the bottom to see all the smartphone alerts you haven't dismissed yet. Swiping to the left from the right side of the display brings you to the various app pages on the Ionic. By default, there are 4 pages that hold a number of preloaded apps today: weather, exercise, coach, music, wallet, timers, relax, settings, Pandora, alarms, Strava, and Starbucks. It's a very simple setup, but one that should be easy to understand even if you've never used another smartwatch before. It's almost like using a smartphone in that there are 4 apps per page and you simply swipe to different pages to access different apps. You can also press and hold on an app icon to move it to another location. Notifications. Like many smartwatches, and unlike other Fitbit devices before it, the Ionic can receive all of your smartphone's notifications if you wish. You can customize these in the Fitbit app, turning on or off alerts from specific apps. I appreciate the editing power because I don't want some apps to have access to my wrist. However, the quality of the Ionic's smartphone notifications is subpar. When a text alert pops up, you can only read a snippet of the message and you can't respond from the watch or interact with it at all. The only things you can do are dismiss it or let it funnel into the notification drawer. Swiping up from the bottom of the display shows all notifications you haven't dismissed yet, and tapping on one only reveals the app from which it came and a rough estimate of when you received the alert, like 2 hours ago. Both WatchOS and Android Wear let you interact with alerts to some degree, and on both, you can respond to messages by either using your voice, choosing a canned response, scribbling an emoji, or typing custom text on a tiny keyboard. In general, the notifications look unfinished when compared to those on WatchOS or Android Wear. Fitbit's alerts are mostly text, some in different colors depending on the app from which they came, and special characters and foreign characters are often replaced by question mark mystery characters. A few emojis pop up here and there and they add some livelihood to the alerts, but otherwise, they feel sad compared to those on other devices. Watch faces. At least the watch faces take advantage of the Ionic's lovely display. Currently there are 17 watch faces, and some of them feature small bits of other information that are akin to complications on WatchOS and Android Wear. However, this information is mostly focused on fitness. A few watch faces have small circles and numbers that indicate steps taken, calories burned, current heart rate, active minutes completed, and more. The only big issue I had with watch faces, other than the fact you can only have one at a time on the Ionic, is that it took a solid 30 seconds for a new watch face to replace my current one. After selecting the new face you want in the Fitbit app, tapping the install button starts the process, which takes much too long. The Ionic lets out a little vibration when the new watch face is ready to go, but it should not take more than a couple seconds to change the look and feel of your digital timepiece. Noticeably absent from the Ionic smartwatch is a virtual, voice-controlled assistant. Apple has Siri on its wearables, and Google has Google Assistant on its Android Wear devices. Using embedded mics on the Apple Watch and Android Wear devices, you can ask these assistants questions and they'll fetch the answers for you. Siri can even talk back to you in WatchOS 4. I'm not surprised that Fitbit didn't create a virtual assistant for the Ionic, because neither Siri nor Google Assistant is necessarily for the fitness experience on those devices. Still, voice control does make basic question and answer interaction easy and fun on smartwatches. Music app, where you can access Pandora playlists or local files. Track playing on the Ionic. Volume, playback, and device control music settings. Information on the music's location and output. Quick settings for display and notifications. List of smartphone alerts that have not yet been dismissed. NFC payments. The Ionic has its own NFC payment system called Fitbit Pay. Other than the fact that it exists, Fitbit Pay isn't incredibly exciting. It works like other contactless payment systems, allowing you to pay for things by holding the Ionic up to a reader and paying with a preloaded credit card. You can connect more than one of your credit cards to Fitbit Pay, but only one will be the default. The feature currently works with American Express, MasterCard, and Visa credit cards, and Fitbit is looking to partner with some banks in the future as well. The feature makes sense. With the Ionic's onboard GPS, it's a good choice for outdoor workouts, and those who leave their smartphones and wallets at home can still purchase a post-workout smoothie. After each transaction, a notification pops up on the Ionic's display, showing you how much was charged on your card. Onboard music. The Ionic has space to hold about 300 songs that you can access without a smartphone nearby. You can only populate the Ionic with local music files, MP3, AAC, and WMA file types, or a playlist synced from a paid Pandora account. That's great if you're one of the 4.8 million Pandora subscribers, but it's a bummer if you're one of the 60 million paid Spotify users or one of Apple Music's 27 million subscribers. Pairing Fitbit's new Flyer wireless earbuds to the Ionic was a breeze. Pressing the button on the right Flyer bud for a couple of seconds puts it into pairing mode, and navigating to the Bluetooth section of the settings app on the device will initiate pairing almost immediately. I wish I could say the same about the ease of the Ionic's onboard music syncing experience. I went the local file route since I don't pay for Pandora, and it's an incredibly buggy experience. Ideally, you connect your Ionic to the same Wi-Fi network that your PC is connected to via the Fitbit mobile app, and then open up the Fitbit Connect desktop software. There's now a bold Manage My Music option on Connect's homepage, which then brings you to a page with identified music playlists from sources like iTunes. Then you must enter transfer mode by going to the music app on the Ionic. That makes your Ionic recognizable and ready to accept music wirelessly from your PC. You choose the playlists you want to sync in the Connect program, and within a few minutes they all sync with your Ionic. In theory, until the day before publishing this review, I wasn't able to sync music to my Ionic. Fitbit emphasized that My Connect software is an early build and that the company is working on it, so things may be better by the time users get their hands on the Ionic this October. Even this turns out to be true. The Ionic's music syncing experience is quite clumsy. Both Apple's and Google's music services let you download files to the respective wearables from your smartphone. No PC or desktop software required. Only paid Pandora subscribers will have even a fraction of that smoothness when syncing music to the Ionic. Other apps. There aren't many third-party apps available for the Ionic yet, so it's hard to say what the app experience will be like in the future. In the next section, we talk about Fitbit Studio and how that should make it easier for developers to create Fitbit OS apps. It makes me wonder if we'll see some useful apps made for Fitbit's operating system. As it stands now, the Ionic is mostly a fitness device with a few smartwatch features. While every smartwatch company is trying to decipher the mystery of apps on smartwatches, some are already quite practical. For example, Apple Maps on Apple Watches and Google Maps on Android both provide turn-by-turn driving directions using on-device maps and vibrations. With a nearby smartphone, that experience is awesome because you get the audio feedback from the mobile app as well as the physical vibrations from the wearable app. Without a smartphone or with audio turned down, you still get wrist-based alerts when you need to turn down another street without needing to take your eyes off the road. Hopefully savvy developers will make similarly practical apps for the Ionic so it can be an even better smartwatch in addition to a powerful fitness device. Page 4. The Fitbit mobile app hasn't changed much since we reviewed the Alta HR, and it remains the best companion mobile app for any fitness device. Everything you'd want to know about your personal fitness is accessible from the home page via squared or off sections. Steps, distance, calories, active minutes, and floors climbed sit at the top with exercise, steps per hour, heart rate, sleep, weight, water intake, and diet sections below those stats. You can also add sections for tracking exercise, logging food, sleep, weight, or water, adding a friend, or scanning a barcode. These sections make your most used interactions quickly accessible so you don't have to go digging for them in other pages of the app. It's clear how much further Apple and Google have to go with the fitness app experiences when looking at the Fitbit exercise page. It's incredibly intuitive with a swipeable section at the top featuring your goals, a monthly breakdown of exercising habits, and graphs for exercise duration, distance, heart rate, and calories burned over time. Below the graphs is a list of all your logged workouts, and you can add any you forgot to log in real time. Each workout is represented by an info card with the categorization of the exercise, date and time of record, distance, pace, average heart rate, and a bar graph showing how much of the workout was spent in different heart rate zones. You could just stop there, but for those interested in more stats, you can tap on the card to bring up detailed information. The individual workout page shows the exact amount of time spent in each heart rate zone, a line graph of heart rate changes over the duration of the workout, another graph of calories burned over time, and impact on your day stats like how many active minutes you gained from this workout. Fitbit has done a great job building out a health and fitness ecosystem within its main mobile app that not only focuses on the user's data, but also on additional ways to improve the user's health. The other sections in the app include challenges, which feature location-based walks that take you through places like New York City or Yosemite Vernal Falls, as well as goal-oriented challenges that suggest things like stepping up your move game during your work week, guidance which holds some of the ready-to-go guided workouts, and social, where users can connect with the friends that also use Fitbit devices. Both Apple and Google have some sharing features in the fitness apps, but in general Apple's Activity app and Google's Fit app focus on displaying fitness stats and not much else. Exercise page with detailed breakdowns, challenges and FitStar portals, social and notifications pages, Ionic device settings in the Fitbit app, apps installed on the Ionic left and all available apps right, watch face selection and gallery. Some watch faces have customizable colors and visual data. Fitbit Studio. Fitbit Studio is the company's web tool for creating new apps and watch faces for the Ionic and potentially other devices running Fitbit OS. It's not available to all yet, but I did receive a demo of the system. Apps and watch faces are created using JavaScript, CSS, and SVG, making it easy for developers at most levels to experiment with making programs. I participated in a demo in which I customized my own Ionic watch face in Studio, and the program was easy to use and navigate. You can test out your creations on your own device or grab a shareable link to send to your friends and family to get their feedback. That shareable link is essentially private as your app won't be available on the Fitbit app gallery yet. Once you're happy with your app or watch face, you can submit it to Fitbit for review. All programs that Fitbit approves can be accessed by all Fitbit users on the app gallery inside the Fitbit app. This soon-to-be-released app gallery is akin to Pebble's app store that lived within its mobile app. Fitbit acquired Pebble at the end of 2016 for around $34 million, and it's clear that the developer community that stuck around helped create the onboard app framework and experience for Fitbit. Another great feature of the app gallery is that each app is standalone, so you don't need to download a companion mobile app to your smartphone. Android Wear treats apps like this, and it even has an on-device Play Store, while Apple still requires you to have the mobile app on your smartphone before you can access WatchOS features on one of its wearables. Good now, hopefully better with time. There's a downside to getting new gadgets before everyone else does. Not everything the device might be able to do is ready. Some of the features I was most excited to test on the Ionic aren't fully ready yet. Dynamic workouts, the new Fitbit Coach app and experience, the completed app gallery, and to some extent its onboard music capabilities. It's hard to assess a product's initial value, much less its longevity, when some of the most interesting features aren't available. Fitbit has pushed out software and firmware updates to its other devices well, so I do have faith the announced features will work as promised on the Ionic. But that doesn't help us now, nor does it help you decide if you should buy the Ionic at launch. Fitbit did deliver on one thing it promised, sticking to its fitness roots. The Ionic is a perfectly capable fitness watch with every feature you'd expect in a $300 price device: heart rate monitoring, GPS tracking, NFC payments, onboard music storage, smartphone alerts, and third-party app integration. Guided workouts are executed thoughtfully on the Ionic, though I can only hope Fitbit throws its users a few more bones with additional free guided workouts before it asks them to pay for Fitbit Coach every month. But even if the Ionic has all the features you'd expect on a $300 wearable plus a few extras, that doesn't mean the way Fitbit executed them on the device is the best you can get. The Ionic is a solid fitness tracking watch, but it's a lackluster smartwatch. Its smartphone alerts are stagnant and boring. The process of getting music on the device is clunky and frustrating. Having only one watch face available on the device at one time stinks, and third-party apps right now are limited. I would not recommend the Ionic to an iPhone user because you can get a better smartwatch experience and a comparable fitness experience with an Apple Watch. I would recommend the Ionic to an Android user if the fitness experience means more to you than the smartwatch experience. But even then, it might be worth waiting, not because of the Ionic's fitness chops but because Garmin has the $300 Vivo Active 3 coming soon, and it seems to have similar features. Fitbit stuck to its roots with the Ionic and produced a good fitness watch, but it's not the best all-purpose wearable you can get for $300. The good works with iOS, Android, and Windows Phone. Great battery life, bright, colorful touchscreen, comprehensive fitness track features and informative sleep tracking. Free guided workouts are fun and easy to follow. Fitbit's mobile app is the best fitness companion. The bad can only store one watch face at a time on the device. Smartphone alert quality is lackluster. Limited third-party apps at the moment. Music integration only works with a paid Pandora account or local files. SpO2 monitor integration is still a mystery. No rep counting features. The ugly. Some of the coolest Ionic features, like dynamic workouts and a full Fitbit Coach experience, weren't ready for us to test.